People in Power, and I'm Summer El-Shahad. On today's programme, the birth control battle.
Those who are able to use contraceptives can plan their families so they can send their kids to school.
The population of the Philippines has doubled in just 30 years. And although population growth has slowed recently, it still stands at 90 million today, making it one of the highest in Asia. Now, economists say this is overwhelming the country. Yet the federal government in this devoutly Catholic nation has refused to promote artificial contraceptives, which have helped curb population growth elsewhere. People in Power's Alok Devishand investigates.
It's a population explosion. Every year, 2 million babies are born in the Philippines. And here in the densely populated streets of the city of Manila, large families are common. Families like that of 36-year-old Yolanda Naz.
Dito na tayo, Bea. Wala tayong pinggan. Ako si Yolanda Naz. May 8 anak.
My name is Yolanda Naz, and I have 8 children.
Yung apo ko, may isa kong apo.
I also have 1 grandchild because my eldest daughter got pregnant.
Bali, siyam, tapos kami mag-asawa.
We all live together, 9 children, me and my husband.
Last month, Yolanda collapsed and was rushed to hospital. Her doctors removed a tumor in her intestines and told her to avoid physical exertion for at least a year. But she says with 9 children to feed, there's no time for rest.
I can't afford to rest for a year because my husband only finds work 2 days a week. If I didn't do anything about it, we'd have nothing to eat. Just ask my neighbors. Sometimes I have to borrow rice just so my children will have something for breakfast.
Like many families in the neighborhood, Yolanda Naz did not intend to have such a large family. And she blames one man for taking the choice away from her. Lito Atienza, the former mayor of Manila. 8 years ago, he issued an order which effectively banned city-funded health centers from providing modern contraceptives, such as condoms, birth control pills, and sterilization. Women like Yolanda Naz were cut off from free contraceptives.
We tried asking for them from the city health center, but we were told we couldn't because their office is under the mayor.
Last year, Yolanda and 20 other families decided to take action to get the contraceptives back in the clinics. They filed a lawsuit against the mayor's office. They lost in the Court of Appeals and are now discussing plans to take the case to the Supreme Court.
Do we need to have more children begging in the streets who can't be supported by their parents to go to school? Do they want that? Those who are able to use contraceptives can plan their families so they can send their kids to school.
The petition was organized by 34-year-old Lourdes Osil.
I ended up having many children. I was only planning to have 4 children. Instead, I have 7.
Lito Atienza, the former mayor who made the order, is now the country's environment secretary.
We did not dictate to families what they should do. In fact, we did not prevent them from making their choice. What I prevented and I stopped is the illegal practice of using government funds, government people, government facilities for birth control purposes. That is not allowed by our constitutional protection of the valuing of life. One complaining or several complaining cannot compare to the thousands that we have saved from destruction of their reproductive systems, destruction of their values.
But the families behind the case say their struggles are shared by many in the community.
We are poor people. They're rich. They're the ones who can afford all the contraceptives. They've never experienced poverty, so they can't tell us that we cannot have access to family planning.
And for women like Yolanda, large families mean tough decisions.
One of the children is in high school. I've made the others stop because I can't afford to send them both. I don't know what kind of life they'll have because they are uneducated. My eldest children are applying for jobs, but they haven't been accepted because they only completed the first year of high school.
Families in the city of Manila, some have told us that because of this executive order, they lost access to contraceptives and had several children that they could not afford to provide for, which seems like a logical...
No, that's exactly what we are trying to also correct. To look at children as nothing but problems. I think we should look at children as blessings.
Despite the Philippines' high birth rate, the central government has been more intent on promoting natural methods of family planning than modern contraceptives, for which services are left largely to the whim of local councils. The country's Environment Secretary says that's because population growth makes economic sense.
I believe that all we need to do now is look at the world. Where are the more successful economies that we can really model ourselves to? China is booming economically. India is booming on the other side. These are the two most heavily populated countries in the world.
But a 2006 survey suggests, despite economic growth, poverty is on the rise. And many economists believe rapid population growth is one of the reasons.
I think the economy and society would have done significantly better if we had addressed this problem, say 2 or 3 decades ago.
Professor Ernesto Pernier used to teach economics to the President of the Philippines, Gloria Arroyo.
How would you grade her performance on population management while in government?
Well, I think the problem has been that because the issue is controversial in a Catholic country like the Philippines, her learning about population economics went to the back seat, and her politics, is really what's driving her now.
The Catholic Church backed the uprising which ousted Joseph Estrada and brought President Arroyo to power in 2001. And though prominent bishops have criticized alleged corruption in her administration, the Church's support has helped the president withstand pressure to resign. But critics say in return, the Church has gained influence over certain policy areas, and it's been particularly vocal about birth control.
The Catholic Church actually believes in what we call natural law. It thinks that the artificial means of birth control goes against natural law.
That's the view of the Catholic Church, but a recent survey found almost 70% of ordinary Filipinos believe the government should be required by law to distribute contraceptives. So, is government policy being dictated by the Church rather than the will of ordinary citizens?
We are a Christian nation to start with. We are a very strong Catholic nation. And we believe that life comes from only one source, the divine Creator himself. So it is not within the powers of man to prevent the birth of a child simply because of material reasons. Who knows? The life you're preventing could be the savior not only of the Philippines, but the whole of mankind.
In this predominantly Catholic nation, discussions about contraception are often linked with the issue of abortion.
A society that practices population control, birth control, anti-life attitude, immediately thereafter transforms into an abortion-demanding society.
But abortion is already happening on a huge scale in the Philippines. Despite being illegal, the UN Population Fund estimates almost 500,000 every year. Women are often injured by untrained practitioners. and come to hospitals like this one for emergency treatment.
Minor complications will be bleeding, infection, GI disturbances. Serious patients would go into shock, would have embolism, death.
Dr. Panlilio says many of the women she's treated risked an illegal abortion because they couldn't provide for another child.
We do favor family planning. Oral contraceptive pills will definitely help in reducing abortion.
With this in mind, a group of federal politicians has submitted a bill to the Philippines Congress. If passed, it would compel the national government to promote contraceptives. Riza Ontiveros Barakel, a popular news anchor turned politician, is at the heart of this movement.
Every day, every week, though a few may fall by the wayside into the hands of the bishops, more and more members of the House are coming on, not only to say, I will vote for this bill, but I want to sign on as a co-author.
As momentum behind the bill has grown, so too has the opposition of the Catholic Church.
They've actually been sustaining a quite aggressive campaign against the reproductive health bill. There have been noises made about denying us Catholic authors of the bill communion in Mass.
While politicians and the Church continue to clash, people like Yolanda Naz have already reconciled any conflict between their faith and birth control.
They say it's a sin against God to use artificial contraception because you're killing a person, you're killing a child. I think it's not a sin. I think it's more sinful to have children and not be able to provide for them.